you liked LGD?
I never thought we'd get to this point. I'm gonna kill you, I'm gonna rape you. If I find you at TI, I'm gonna shoot you.
Sometimes it's really pissed me off.
Like recently I've been going through a lot of personal problems. I cried 4 times.
Can I say, okay, just stand up?
You guys are the best. I love you.
Хотим сказать спасибо нашему партнеру Лига Става. Переходите по ссылке в закрепленном комментарии, вводите промокод ИГРАТ23 и получайте крутые бонусы. Промокод действует только для новых клиентов.
Okay, guys, hello. Today we have conversation with young, beautiful woman, team play oriented, analyst, streamer, stretching coach.
You saw me do the lessons.
Yes. Hello, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
Me too. First, I wanted to ask you is how you feel about this tournament, the international?
Obviously, I'm very excited to have TI back in Seattle because I worked 3 TIs now. This is my 3rd TI, but this is my first time in front of a live crowd because TI 10 we were in Romania and it got cancelled, the audience, and then TI 11 we were doing a remote panel from Norway. So this one's my first time interacting with the TI audience.
For now, Valve would choose some system, as you know, and I guess we should expect the returning of another organization, like, I don't know, maybe BTS, maybe Vplay, maybe Dream League more, I don't know. So I wanted to ask you, which series of tournament you like the most?
I like Dream League.
Dream League.
Dream League is my favorite. It's just so much fun. There's so much creativity. There's so much like room for jokes, and I love the idea of like a late night show. I mean, you've seen the talk show, right, with the couches. It makes you feel more like immersed in entertainment and not just esports. You feel like you're kind of dabbling in both genres.
How did you see maybe BTS like format where you're just sitting on the chairs, like some chilly vibe around? Or maybe Vplay, where like they give you some cool costumes. Yes.
I like WePlay so much, and the first event that I ever worked was with WePlay.
It was your first?
Yeah, ever. It was just so creative. It was one of the coolest things I'd ever seen, but WePlay stopped working in Dota after the Animator, so I never got to experience that again, but they set the standard very, very high for tournaments. After WePlay, I was like, is everything gonna be like this? Everything fell short.
What team do you like the most right now? Like, as far as I know, you liked LGD?
Yeah.
And now?
I'm a big fan of the China region, so right now in this TI, obviously I'm cheering for LGD and ASURE, but I also love Team Spirit. They're one of my favorite teams. I have their banner in Dota next to my name because it looks really cool. It looks awesome.
Wasn't you sad this year because China Dota wasn't quite strong?
Yeah. It's weird because when you think about the history of Dota 2, China's always been a very strong region. So to have a TI where only 2 teams are represented, I never thought we'd get to this point. But I think because of this, they're gonna have more ambition to play better. Like we saw in this tournament that they have so much to prove, and now 2 Chinese teams are in top 8.
But for now, they're looking strong. Like on the international, I guess they prepared. And for now, right now we have LGD versus ASURE, right?
Yeah.
Who will win, in your opinion?
I don't know. I want to say LGD, but we'll see. Anything can happen. I feel like main stage always surprises everyone. Okay,
next question is, you play Dota, but you're not the one who played Dota in your family. Could you please tell about it more? Who plays? How many? MMR. Did you fight with, I don't know, the sister who will play first if you have one PC?
Yeah. Oh my God, okay. So right now, I'm the only one who plays Dota in my family because my 2 brothers, like one goes to college and he's focused on that, and my other brother quit playing Dota 3 years ago. But when we were all playing Dota 1 at the Net Cafe when we were small, we would run away from school, me and my brother Firo. He's 1 year younger than me, so we're about the same age. We would run away from school and just go to the Net Cafe, and we would play there. You know, we would do that a lot. And then at home, we only had 1 computer, so we had kind of 3 hours each And then we would kick each other off. But then sometimes my brother, it would almost be my turn to play, Dota 1. And then it would be 10 minutes before my turn. And then he'll start a game. And then I'll come, like, it's my turn. He'll be like, well, my game's not over, you know? So he would cheat sometimes.
Can I say, okay, just stand up, I will play?
I mean, yeah, he would cheat sometimes. Like, Mira, I can't leave the game. So he hacked the system.
And who's the most skilled?
The most skilled, Firo, my brother, but he quit many years ago. He stopped playing. He used to play competitively a little bit. He had a team with Fada and Yapsar, I think back in 2000.
The school players.
Yeah, back in 2016, and then he played with Complexity a little bit, but then he stopped playing Dota after a few years.
And did you think about trying competitive yourself? Maybe you dream about it, I don't know, 3 years ago, 5.
I wanted to when I was young, obviously, because you watch all the TIs and you watch people go on stage and they pick up the Aegis and you think to yourself, oh my God, if I could do that, that would be amazing. But it was never, it's always kind of like a distant dream when I was young, but now that I'm older, I would never want to.
Maybe you had some favorite players who inspire you to play more?
Of course. Like when I switched to position 4, I was watching a lot of Jerax. Like he was my inspiration to become a support player. I watched a lot of Jerax, especially in the Boston Major. I think when I first saw him, I thought to myself, wow, if I could play like that guy, I would be really happy. Another inspiration of mine, I guess, Crit, because I used to watch a lot of Crit stream. Because we have similar hero pool, so I would like pick up on a few things from his stream.
Can you tell something more about your hero pool? Which hero are your favorites?
Earth Spirit.
Earth Spirit is, but he's so complicated.
No,
no,
not that complicated. Any hero in Dota, you play like 20 times.
Are you using quickcasts?
No. I'm too old. My fingers are. My old fingers won't learn anything.
Okay, top 3. First, Air Spirit.
Air Spirit and Dark Willow and Marana.
Maybe you tried some another roles, not position 4. Maybe you told me, but
I used to play mid.
Mid.
Yeah, I was a mid player. Like when I first started Dota, I played Shadow Fiend and I played, Templar Assassin and Storm Spirit. Those are my 3 heroes. Because in Dota 1 there wasn't support. Everyone was core. Yeah. There was no such thing as support in Dota 1. So I learned Dota playing these heroes. And then I went to Dota 2 and I also played these heroes, but then I watched the Boston Major and I watched Jerax and he made me want to be a support player.
And did you have some conflicts in family when you're sitting playing your game, you're focused, and then some of your brother coming to you and say, "No, Mira, you're doing something wrong."
No. They sometimes my brother, when we were younger, he would come and watch, and then if I was tilted, I'd say, "Go away, I don't want you to watch me." and then he would just go away.
Next topic I want to discuss is, I wrote a lot about you in your Twitter, and it feels that you're a super, super, super sensitive person.
Yeah.
Like very sensitive.
Yeah, too sensitive, I think.
And it's, let's talk about this. Strong sides and weak sides of being sensitive person.
I don't know. I think maybe the strong side is that you can connect with people more easily because it's easier for you to understand how they feel.
Yes.
So I think that's probably the biggest strength, but I think everything else is a weakness if you're overly sensitive because especially if you're working in this job and you're on camera all the time and people will criticize you for everything, people will criticize you for your appearance, they'll criticize you for your work, your analysis, my voice, how I'm acting. I feel like there's always somebody who has something to say. And for me, if you're going to work in this kind of industry, you shouldn't care. If you care too much about what people think about you, you won't go very far. So I think that's my biggest struggle is sometimes I care too much about what people say. Things affect me very strongly. I want to feel accepted, by the Dota community because I feel like it's my home, it's my community. But that doesn't help me. I talk to a lot of friends and I talk to a therapist and they all told me that, my opinion of myself should only matter, to me, nobody else.
Yeah, but it should be, but you're so sensitive, it's hard. Maybe they give you some clues or advices how to do it. Maybe some stuff you can do in life to, I don't know, to throw the things out. I don't know, maybe go to gym.
Yeah, sometimes I go.
Because it's really hard. Let's say you see one negative commentary about you. Just imagine that for me, I see, like, say, 3 positive commentary and 1 negative, and like, okay, it's fine for me. For you, how many good or positive commentary will balance 1 negative? Or they can't balance at all? Even 1 negative comment can...
No, I think, like, recently I've been working a lot on my perception, so now when the negative comment comes, like, if I start to read something and it's negative, I stop reading it. Like, I don't even finish reading it. And if I see something positive, I'm trying to look at it and really absorb it, you know? Because I feel like for most people, it's easy to take the positive things for granted. Like, they don't feel as good as the negative things feel bad, if that makes sense. But I've just been working really hard on looking only at the positive comments and trying to actually feel them. Like, if somebody told me, you made me laugh today, I really enjoyed it, I don't just scroll past it. Now I look at it for a while and I try to think really hard of, oh, somebody was sitting at home today and they had a bad day and they were laughing because of me. So I try to actually, like, make the idea a real idea in my head so I can feel it better. Yeah, I've been working hard on that, actually.
Do you still using your writing technique, you know? So when you're feeling a lot of emotions, you just write something about writing. You're still using it, yes?
Yeah.
And maybe you can tell more about it, so maybe some sensitive people also watching us, and maybe they can hear some advices from you.
Yeah.
You know?
So I think that if you're somebody who experiences a lot of strong emotions, you shouldn't internalize them. Like, if you're internalizing the strong emotions that you feel, whether they're happy or sad, and especially if they're sad, then eventually it's gonna overwhelm you from inside. You know, you're gonna turn into a very depressed person or someone with no energy or no motivation. So you have to be able to remove all of these negative feelings. And for me, that outlet is writing. For other people, it may be something else. It could be, you know, going to the gym or music, or it could even be DOTA. But I found that if I have strong feelings, it helps me to just put them down on paper. Like, whether it's on Twitter, if I write a tweet, it's in my journal, which I started to journal how I feel, my emotions. If you take it from inside of your mind and you put it on paper, it feels like you're kind of transferring some of that weight, you know, some of that burden. It just moves from one area to another. So when I write things down and I put them on paper, it allows me to understand my feelings better. So if I was sad all day because of, let's say, I had a bad interaction with somebody, and it shouldn't make me that sad, and I write it down, I start to understand that, oh, I'm sad because 2 weeks ago, my friend said something similar, and it all adds into each other. So I think you can learn a lot about yourself by writing things down. The best tips that I can give anybody who wants to journal is, like, you don't have to show it to anybody. Just take a pen and paper, write it down for yourself, keep track every day of the bad things you feel and the good things that you feel. And, like, eventually you'll find that your emotions are more balanced.
Thank you. I think it's good advice. But playing Dota, isn't it dangerous for the emotions? I know I'm a calm person.
Yeah.
I'm a calm person, but sometimes it's really piss me off. People piss me off, or maybe my mistakes piss me off.
I think it's 50-50. It's
50-50?
Because like, sometimes I'm having a really bad day. Like, a really bad day, and nothing can make me feel better, and I don't want to talk to anybody, and I'm too angry or too sad to watch a movie or do anything else. If I go on Dota and I play a Dota game, I'm so concentrated on the Dota game, like, trying to win, because the game takes all of your attention, it takes all of your focus, that I forget all of the things that I'm feeling. So that's what I mean, that it's 50-50. So some days, that's what I need to distract myself, and other days, it makes me even more angry.
Yeah, I understand.
So I have to be able to, like, identify which days that I'm gonna be more angry, or if I need the distraction.
Do you have maybe some teammates in Dota, or you play just solo? Or maybe you have some favorites, teammates, friends, analytic casters, I don't know.
Yeah, so I don't
Mr.
actually...
Jenkins maybe is...
I love Jenkins.
Yeah, I know, but in Dota.
I don't play with the casters stack that much, because I like to play ranked and they play unranked. I have my Jordanian friends. I have a lot of Jordanian friends that I grew up with. We all went to the same network cafes together when we were kids. I still have that group of friends. So sometimes I'll play with them. If no one's around, I will play by myself. Like I don't mind.
So firstly, you're looking for
my real life friends.
Real life friends.
Those are the people I play with.
If there is no friends, you just go solo. Or maybe if someone invites you to party, you can accept. Or maybe
yeah, it depends on how I feel.
How often you crying?
Oh my god, all the time.
Yeah, because it's also one way to move out the emotions, you know.
Oh my god, I cry all the time. I think
all the time.
People around me are so exhausted because at this TI, I cried 4 times. Four times already, and it's only been 4 days.
But maybe it was tears of happiness.
No, it's stress. No? You know, if I'm stressed, I'll cry. If I'm so tired, I'll cry.
So it's just your way to move out your emotions.
Yeah, I would say so. It depends. Like recently I've been going through a lot of personal problems, so I also feel overwhelmed a lot of the times. So usually, you know, a small thing that wouldn't upset me, I find that it upsets me that day. That's because I'm just overwhelmed. So I don't think crying is a bad thing though, so it's okay. It's fine.
And because of negative comments or you deal with it?
No, the negative comments, like they hurt, but I mean, it's been 3 years of me doing this job, so I've learned a lot of techniques to not care. Like I was mentioning to you before, like now I only look at the positive comments and I try to feel them.
Okay, so because I wanted to say, don't write bad words about Mira. Don't make her cry. That's all.
It's okay. If you write something bad, just, you know, don't be too bad. Just you know, average bad.
Just write before Mira. Careful, it will be critical or negative comments.
Nothing crazy. Because you know, some people are crazy. Like some people send me messages like, "I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna rape you. I'm gonna like crazy things like that." They're like, "Hey, if I find you at TI, I'm gonna shoot you in the head." Like
what the fuck?
Some crazy people send you things like that. So that's what I mean. If you wanna say something bad, just keep it in the middle. You know, we're people. I'm a person too.
But you have a good friend, Jenkins.
Yeah.
Who I'm sure he will protect you from all this shit. And wasn't he jealous when you tried to find a friend in Twitter?
What do you mean?
Maybe 1 year ago, I saw a post where I tried to
looking for a best friend.
Looking for a best
that was just a joke. No, but Jenkins wasn't my best friend back then. Like we got really close this last year because we worked a lot of dream leagues together. And last TI we were in Norway working the panel remotely. So I feel like everybody who was in Norway connected, but he and I we felt very isolated from everybody and sad. So we became like the best of friends. So now I feel like I have somebody in my life that even if Dota ends, I'm always going to talk to them. They're always going to talk to me. They're going to be involved in my life.
That's cool. Your favorite anime? Top 3.
Top 3.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 1 is Number 1 is Hunter x Hunter because it's the best. We know it's the best. And I love Attack on Titan, number 2. So Attack on Titan is hard for me to tie with Hunter. If I liked the ending of Attack on Titan more, I would put it first place, but the ending is third. So I think my 3rd is my favorite, not because it's the best, but because it's my childhood, which is Naruto. I grew up since I was 11, I was watching Naruto and reading Naruto. So it's my favorite for memories. But if I could pick manga too, to put in, I love Berserk and Vinland Saga. So those two, they're not the animated version, but the manga. So those two, Berserk and Vinland Saga, you have to read them if you have not read them. That is
true anime. In Dota, a lot of guys watching anime where main character is improving, and then become super cool. So first he's a young Japan schoolboy, and then he decided what to do with the world. So basically, but your choice is not about it. Yes, not about super improving.
I mean, Naruto is that. But
yes.
But that's my memories.
You're vegetarian?
Yes.
Yes, and how long?
Let me think. About 3 years now? Almost 4 years. Almost 4 years, because when I got my dog is when I became vegetarian. A few months after I had my dog, I became vegetarian.
Yeah, I heard some stories when people became vegetarian because they watched some movies.
I watched some documentaries.
You also watched, yes. Okay, and the last question, I guess, is your hobbies. So, It's Dota, anime, and maybe stretching, I don't know. Just randomly meet Mira in fitness center.
Yeah.
So maybe something else.
I actually don't have that much hobbies outside of what I do, but I like to read books a lot. I grew up reading a lot of books, so when I have some free time, I try to always read something that's on my list.
Your favorite?
My favorite book is East of Eden by John Steinbeck. He's an American author. He wrote beautiful literature about the American dream. I'm not the biggest fan of America, but that literature back in that era, the 1900s, it was really inspiring for me.
Okay, genre and books.
I like classic. I actually like some Russian writers as well. Like my mom, when I was young, she gave me a copy of Crime and Punishment. So she was telling me to read Dostoevsky. So I read that when I was like 15, and then afterwards, I tried to read a little bit more from Russian writers. Like there was a book called A Hero of Our Time, I think, by Lermontov. That one was pretty good. And then also, my school made me read Anna Karenina. So I do like some Russian books I read when I was younger.
That's cool. That's cool. Okay, thank you for the interview.
Thank you.
If you have something to say to our viewers, you can do it.
You guys are the best. I love you. Keep watching and enjoying Dota, and be nice to everybody. You know, we all have feelings. We all have hearts. That's all.